friends, I'm Steph from cheapskatecook.com and stephaniejenkins.com. Today we're talking about leftover potatoes. Okay, I know that sounds super boring, but hang with me. It's gonna get really delicious. Like, it might be your new favorite meal. Okay, so not only am I a fan of the cook once, eat twice method, when I make potatoes, I tend to make like a whole pot of them. And part of that is because there are so many easy things to do with pre-cooked diced potatoes. But also I want to show you what you can do with leftover potatoes. So if you have leftover baked potatoes or boiled potatoes, or I guess this doesn't really work with mashed potatoes, but you can do other things with those, and I'll mention those later in the video. Anyway, the whole point of this video is I want to make nachos, but instead of using chips, I'm gonna make potatoes. So not only is this a way to use up leftover potatoes, but it's a way to eat nachos without eating like the chips. So it's more real food. Potatoes are actually really good for you. I mean, it's nachos, so who doesn't want more nachos in their life? We're gonna try it. Anyway, let's go. Side note, I don't actually live in Houston. I don't actually follow the Rockets at all. I just found this at Goodwill and I love it. Okay, we're gonna start like all the best recipes start with some bacon. But if you are vegetarian or you don't like bacon for whatever reason, I'm gonna give you some really good like vegetarian options, and you could also use turkey bacon or crumbled like chicken breakfast sausage. The easiest way to cook a bunch of bacon is to put it in the oven. Now, if you're gonna serve it like just plain bacon and eggs and toast for breakfast, then you definitely want to use a skillet. But if you're going to be crumbling it like we are in this recipe, then you might as well just make your life easy and bake it in the oven. You can bake it at 400 degrees for like 15 minutes-ish. Just check it after 10 minutes, and you don't want it to burn, obviously, but you want it to be nice and brown. Don't forget to taste test it. Honestly, the best part about being the cook. Today I'm going to try making two different kinds of potato nachos. So we're going to use a variety of ingredients. These don't necessarily all go together, but you'll see what flavors I'm going for as we put them together. The basic instructions for potato nachos are the same no matter what flavors you're making. So we're going to start out with a cookie sheet and leftover diced potatoes. These ones are boiled, but if you have like leftover baked potatoes, that totally works as well. I spread them out in an even layer. I don't want to pile them on top of each other because they're a lot thicker than chips are. So this whole bowl of potatoes is only going to take up half the pan. These are super filling, so you really don't need that much to go a long way. This half, I'm going to start by adding a bunch of salsa. This is just some cheap brand. I probably got it at Aldi or Walmart. Throw some beans in there. If I had like leftover ground beef or chicken, then I could do that. If I had pinto beans, I'd throw those on there. I just happen to have black beans. And then I'm gonna top it with some cheese. Literally whatever kind of cheese I have in my fridge. I think this is mozzarella and cheddar. On the other side, I'm going to make a different kind of potato nacho. So I'm going to skip the salsa and we're just going to throw on some cheese. I've even used like little chunks of cream cheese if that's all I have. And then comes the bacon. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and try this. I'm just gonna take our leftover mashed potatoes and mash them on the pan here. Then I'm gonna top them with cheese and bacon, and we're gonna see how they turn out. Throw that in the oven for like 15 minutes at 400 degrees. I'm just looking for the cheese to be melted and just like a touch brown. If you're looking for more ways to use up leftover potatoes, I have a bunch of ideas and they are in the description. Potato nachos are just my favorite way to use up leftover potatoes because who doesn't love nachos? Now that these are done baking, we can put the rest of the toppings. So I'm going to use some sour cream. Actually, I think this is plain yogurt because you can kind of substitute them, and we don't usually have sour cream in our house. So plain yogurt just works for us. And then some diced onion and anything else that you can think of that would go with like a Southwest style nachos. Got some pickled jalapeno here, or black olives, green onions, cilantro. Just think of your favorite nacho toppings and taco toppings and throw them on there. I've tried all kinds of things and it's always delicious. If you haven't guessed it, this other side is kind of your classic baked potato bar toppings. So can we really call them nachos? Probably not. I'm just using what I have. Now, I'm one of those people who also likes ranch dressing on my potatoes. So if this grosses you out, just skip it. You know what? You can top your potatoes however you want. But I really like ranch on my potatoes. I am really struggling with making the ranch look appealing. It mostly just looks like a drippy mess, but it's gonna be delicious, and that's what matters. And there you go, potato nachos. You can make them all different flavors. You can use whatever you have in the fridge. This is just what I happen to have in the fridge, but I've topped it all different ways. It's delicious, it's real food, my kids love it. It helps me use up leftovers so I'm not throwing food away, and it's really easy. I also really like that it's a way to enjoy the flavors of nachos without using the chips. We've got a corn allergy in our family actually, so the tortilla chips are kind of a problem anyway. And this is just a nice budget-friendly way to get around that. Also, highly recommend the mashed potato nachos over here in the corner. Like, so delicious. I almost like those more than the regular diced potatoes. So there you go. We discovered something together. Okay, that's how we make potato nachos. 2 different ways. I hope you found some good ideas and ways to use leftover potatoes, but also just a good, yummy, crowd-pleasing, real food meal idea that's super easy. Special thanks to Kitchen Stewardship for collaborating with us in this video. I'm Steph from cheapskatecook.com and stephaniejenkins.com. Get the full recipe in the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more ways to save money and eat healthy. I mean, kind of healthy, like nachos. I mean, it's real food, right? Leftover potatoes. Hey friends, talking about leftover potatoes. Okay, so not only am I a big fan of the whole like cook twice, no, not that, cook once, eat twice. Huh?